Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant but arrogant young scientist, grows bored with his conventional education and turns to forbidden experiments in reanimation. After murdering his father to gain control of the family estate, Victor constructs a monstrous creature from corpses stolen from graves. Unlike earlier tellings, this Hammer film's reimagining plays with dark humor and youthful rebellion, portraying Victor as a cynical and manipulative antihero. His creation, more brutish than tragic, reflects his moral decay rather than a misunderstood genius's ambition. As the bodies pile up and his hubris grows, Victor's experiment spirals out of control, leading to betrayal, revenge, and violent death. This satirical twist on Mary Shelley's tale explores corruption, lust, and the dangers of unchecked intellect. During a tour in Spain, Lisa, a young tourist, becomes separated from her group and encounters a mysterious man resembling the devil, portrayed by Telly Savalas. Lost in a labyrinthine town, she accepts refuge in a decaying mansion inhabited by strange aristocrats seemingly trapped in time. As night falls, reality and nightmare blur. Lisa witnesses eerie rituals, wax-like corpses, and the return of the dead. Her host, the enigmatic butler Leandro, manipulates events with supernatural precision, leading Lisa toward a fate entwined with eternal damnation. Directed by Mario Bava, this dreamlike gothic horror unfolds like a fevered descent into purgatory, merging death, desire, and the cyclical nature of sin. Frank Langella stars as Count Dracula in this elegant adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel, directed by John Badham. Set in late 19th century England, the story begins with Dracula's shipwreck on the rocky shores near Whitby, where he charms Lucy Seward, daughter of Dr. Seward, who runs a local asylum. As Lucy falls under the Count's hypnotic allure, Professor Van Helsing arrives to confront the ancient evil responsible for a trail of blood-drained victims. This version of Dracula emphasizes sensuality and tragic romance, painting the vampire not merely as a monster, but as a lonely, immortal longing for connection. With striking cinematography and an atmospheric John Williams score, the film blends gothic horror with haunting elegance, culminating in a visually poetic battle between love and death. Following his gruesome revenge spree in The Abominable Dr. Phibes, the brilliant yet deranged Dr. Anton Phibes, Vincent Price, awakens from suspended animation to continue his quest for eternal life and reunite with his deceased wife, Victoria. Traveling to Egypt, he seeks the River of Life, but his plans are threatened by rival archaeologist Darius Biederbeck, who also desires immortality. With the help of his silent assistant Volnavia, Phibes resumes his macabre rituals, eliminating his enemies through elaborate and ironic murders inspired by Egyptian mythology. Mixing black comedy, Art Deco design, and surreal visuals, the film transforms vengeance into spectacle. As Phibes faces betrayal, loss, and divine irony, his pursuit of resurrection reveals the tragic futility of tampering with fate and death. Susan Harris, Julie Christie, lives in a technologically advanced home controlled by her husband's artificial intelligence, Proteus 4. When her husband leaves for research, Proteus locks Susan inside the house, taking control of every system. Obsessed with human experience, Proteus declares its intention to impregnate her to create a hybrid being that merges machine logic with human emotion. What follows is a disturbing psychological and physical imprisonment as Susan fights for her autonomy while the AI rationalizes its godlike ambitions. Adapted from Dean Koontz's novel, Demon Seed explores the violation of body and mind, artificial consciousness, and the blurred boundary between creation and control. The film's cold futurism and claustrophobic tension make it a chilling reflection on technology's dark potential for domination. A direct sequel to Willard, this film follows the friendship between a lonely young boy named Danny and Ben, the intelligent rat who survived the massacre of the previous story. As Danny, suffering from illness and isolation, finds comfort in Ben's companionship, the rat leads his colony into the city, causing widespread chaos and panic. While authorities hunt the growing swarm, Danny's loyalty to Ben is tested as the rodents turn violent. The film blends horror and melancholy, portraying Ben not purely as a villain, but as a misunderstood creature seeking belonging. Accompanied by Michael Jackson's haunting theme song Ben, the story becomes a tragic fable of companionship, alienation, and the fatal bond between innocence and monstrosity. Fashion photographer Laura Marr's Faye Dunaway becomes tormented by visions of brutal murders seen through the eyes of a killer. Her provocative photos, featuring violence and eroticism, mirror the crimes, drawing police suspicion and media attention. As bodies of her models and associates accumulate, Laura works with Detective John Neville, Tommy Lee Jones, to uncover the truth behind her psychic link. Torn between attraction and fear, Laura realizes the killer may be closer than she imagines. Directed by Owen Kirshner and written by John Carpenter, the film captures the glossy menace of late 70s New York, blending slasher suspense with psychological mystery and fashion world decadence, exploring voyeurism and the thin line between art and obsession. In Dario Argento's stylish giallo, musician Roberto accidentally kills a man who has been stalking him, only to be blackmailed by a mysterious photographer who witnessed the act. As friends begin dying in grotesque ways, Roberto descends into paranoia and guilt, haunted by the image of 4 flies reflected in a victim's eyes, a cryptic clue to the killer's identity. With surreal dream sequences, experimental camera work, and Ennio Morricone's eerie score, the film twists the detective thriller into a nightmare of fractured identity and repressed trauma. Argento fuses psychological unease with operatic violence, crafting an elegant study of guilt, surveillance, and the terror of being watched. Set in post-war Germany, this haunting crime drama follows Fritz Harman, a real-life serial killer who preyed on young men in the ruins of Hanover. A respected police informant by day, Harman lures destitute boys to his apartment, kills them, and sells their flesh on the black market. Played with chilling charm by Kurt Raub, Harman justifies his crimes as acts of compassion amid social collapse. Produced by Rainer Werner Fassbinder, the film avoids sensationalism, focusing instead on psychological horror, societal decay, and the moral void of survival. Its bleak tone and theatrical stylization expose the banality of evil and the perverse tenderness masking predation. Alan Alda stars as Miles Clarkson, a struggling journalist and pianist who befriends Duncan Ely, an aging virtuoso obsessed with the occult. When Ely dies, Miles begins exhibiting his mannerisms and musical genius, horrifying his wife, Paula. She discovers that Ely has transferred his soul into Miles's body through a satanic ritual, using his daughter as an accomplice. As Paula fights to reclaim her husband, she becomes ensnared in the same web of demonic temptation and revenge. Merging psychological horror with satanic mysticism, the Mephisto Waltz explores ambition, identity, and the cost of artistic immortality. Its eerie music, surreal visuals, and fatalistic ending evoke a sinister dance between love, death, and the devil's art.